Welcome to How You Doing News. This is Oldimar.
And this is Joel.
That's right. Thank you for coming. And we're here to give you news. And I'm here to receive news because I look, my satellite's turned off. I don't have any kind of receivers out there. I have my eyes focused down here. I don't know what's going on. And this man right here is a wealth of knowledge. I appreciate him. I value him. Treasure is another word I would use. Treasure you. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, let's talk about teleportations, the pros and cons. But then you like Star Trek, right?
I like Star Trek. You telling me that I can get my own teleportation device?
No, I'm just saying the technology will get there eventually, right? We all saw Star Trek, how you can either the molecules or the atoms, everything's get transformed or transferred to another ion.
Okay, so I remember that.
How does that work anyway?
Oh, I mean, really?
No,
Okay.
no, seriously.
So,
you watch Star Trek.
Okay, yeah, I do. So I remember that Scotty, or I don't remember on Next Generation who would do it.
Right.
No, wait. Yeah, it was Scotty.
Right.
Scotty on the old show, he would like beam them up and they'd send them off to some other place. But in the newer episodes, I don't remember exactly who did that. Oh, I think it was Geordie LaForge, maybe.
Okay, so hear me out.
The guy with the glasses. Anyway, so yeah, but then also they could get things. They had replicators where they could get like, he would say, "Get me a cup of Earl Grey," right? and they would, and it would appear. He'd be like, "Oh, great." So he would,
great. Give me a whiskey. I'll take it.
Give me Macallan's. Yeah, so he would ask for like scotch and shit, and then it would be there. So I mean, at that point.
So hear me out. So you get some whiskey from scotch, good old scotch from somewhere else, or tequila from somewhere else, from other locations that they like actually where it comes from, right?
Yeah.
Right. So those are one of the pros, right?
How do they pay for that? Do you think they have to get licensed?
No, beyond the license, actually. Beyond the license, the regulations and all that junk. Or in space, there's no regulations.
Do you think they have to have the Department of Weights and Measures going in there, and they have to go and actually like check the device to see that if it's properly, calibrated?
Beam me up, Scotty. And then he gets beamed up and he gets evaporated and it appears another spot. How does that work? Molecules they get evaporated and then beams to the other place, right?
I really don't know, because I remember in The Fly. Remember that movie, The Fly?
Yeah, The Fly. Yeah, that's a great example
with Jeff Goldblum,
mm-hmm.
right? The Fly gets into the teleportation device.
Yeah, right.
And he gets mixed in with his DNA, and he comes
in
back as a human fly.
A human fly, that's
like
right.
That Cramp song.
Right.
But, like, I don't really fully understand how it can take every piece and put it back in the same place.
Right. Okay.
I can understand how you could make a cup of tea. Right? You could just take all the ingredients and put them in there, and then you add the water and the heat and everything, and it's fine. But people have moving parts. Tea does not.
Okay, so, all right, that's what I'm going at, right? So, you transfer one item to another item. What benefits can you have? All right, if you have cancer, can you remove your cancer by transferring somewhere else?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's how you can use technology for, right? Based on the molecule or whatever you're evaporating from, or whatever they're doing.
Do you think that a person would go through that process and they're like, okay, well, we're going to take everything but the cancer and we're going to transport you to like Hawaii, and the cancer stays in like San Pedro. So in San Pedro is your cancer, and you're in Hawaii now, and you're like, well, this is great, but now you have a chunk taken out of your body. Right. So it looks like a shark bit your, like, you have like a shark bite out of your body.
So if you have a stomach cancer, you don't have no stomach at all, is what you're saying.
So I would think it would, like, they could really zero in on the specific, the specific parts of the body.
But that's what I'm saying. So how do you define the right, evaporate that molecule or atom or whatever they do and stuff into certain areas or whatever, and get it out of the way? And
it's embedded. Cancer's like embedded in your body, so you would have to take out flesh too. You'd have to take out tissues.
Yeah, you take tissue out. That's right. Or if you can find the right formula to get the cancer out or whatever that makes it different from the body or whatever, you can take the cancer out.
You know what? I think it sounds like I wouldn't want to be the first person to do it, but I think if you take someone who, let's say, is sick in prison
Right.
or something and they don't have any other options.
Guinea pigs. That's
well,
awesome, dude.
Well, basically, I'm saying like
death penalty. No, we're gonna do this shit to you.
It's for the greater good.
There we go. On that argument, I agree on. But so it's for the greater good of manhood, man, and science.
Yeah. Well, look, if I was in prison,
that's freaking dude. Wow.
Hey, what if they cut the prison sentence?
Right.
So your sentence is going to be commuted, and you know what you're doing is really good. It's going to save so many people. In fact, we're going to name the 10 freeway after you.
People are going to argue this is going to be inhumane. Why is it inhumane? Why? Because it's going to suffer. Why are they going to suffer? Well,
they might suffer, but it's like, one small step for man.
No, I agree. I agree, actually, that you have the prisoner as guinea pigs and we can try that out.
How do you think they made medicine in the first place? You had to have some, some times when it didn't work out.
Well, that's the thing. Well, medicine already does that shit. Like Prozac clones serotonin on you so you can get happier. So kind of almost doing the same shit. Kind of, you know what I mean? So if you're doing that, actually, my thing is actually that technology you can use if you take cancer out, if you have no limbs, grow extra limbs or whatnot.
Do you think you could teleport someone out of mental illness?
Yeah, there you go. No, Mike, even better. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like you teleport someone, like we said, to Hawaii.
The schizophrenia goes somewhere else.
so basically, San Pedro is stuck with all this shit. And then when you go
Why San Pedro? What do you have against San Pedro?
I don't have anything against San Pedro. It's just the first place I thought of.
All right. That's fine, actually.
I like the word.
San Pedro.
Words. I like San Pedro.
All right. Let's say we do that and we get a bunch of crazy San Pedros. Because we do some experiments like that, actually.
Yeah. Well,
I choose Bakersfield. Go ahead.
Well, Bakersfield is where they go when the experiment doesn't go right.
Right.
They end up in Bakersfield. It's like, oh no, we messed up. We had to reroute you.
Okay, so let's look at an economical base point of view, actually. Mm-hmm. So you take all the merchandise and you transfer it somewhere else. You beam it up to somewhere else, and you cancel all those trucks and all that gas and all that shit. Did Star Trek did that stuff, right?
Okay, hang on.
Wait. Did Star Trek only did that with people, or they didn't do it with merchandise? Hey, by the way, can I get a...
No, they did, but they didn't do it for commerce. Why? They would do that for, items. So, let's say they needed oxygen tanks.
Why not commerce, though? The economic...
Because that's not what the purpose of the Voyager or any of those missions, that's not the purpose of those things. It wasn't commerce. It was to boldly go to new places and stuff and go where no one's been before. It wasn't about let's do Amazon.
But there's so many things you can do with it. Actually.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that in the scope of Star Trek,
right.
They weren't focusing on commerce. Yeah, they did go and check on things where there's a shipping thing, there's a crisis, and we need to deal with the shipping problem. But that wasn't the main focus. It wasn't commerce. So if we're thinking about how you're going to teleport with commerce,
right? All right.
There's going to be insurance. You're going to have teleportation insurance.
Customs.
Oh my God.
Custom on that. Yeah.
So imagine you're sitting at customs, right? And all of a sudden a giant, huge box lands in front of you, and you're like, "What the hell is this?" And it's just alien organs and stuff. Right. It's refrigerated. Hearts. You're like, oh, I didn't know that was coming. I imagine they probably would. Right. They probably would have a thing. Incoming hearts. Incoming whale penises. They're gonna tell you what's coming in, but I don't know how you actually would. No, I guess it would just be like any kind of customs thing where they just kind of look through. Is there cocaine in here?
Well, that's what I love, dude. There's so many things doing the drug trafficking over here with the teleporting or whatever. The competition behind it. Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
That'd be that would not be great, but still though, it's a good idea.
It would be great. It would be great if you were the one doing it.
Yeah, you are the one you were the first one that came out with it and all that junk.
So teleporting illicit goods.
Right. and
You hear about
drugs.
how they're taking catapults?
Yeah,
They're using catapults to launch
They're using
drugs over
catapult.
the
Yeah, they're
border.
using a lot of stuff. The tunnel, the tunnel system is genius. Actually, they have all the resources for it.
I heard that they're using drones to carry drugs over fences at penitentiaries.
Well, someone told me they can use freaking fish like dolphins and just transfer it to the other side of the ocean with it and get on it or something. You can do a lot of stuff with it, dude.
All you gotta do is learn how to
But
control like as if you're the Aquaman.
that's right.
So
Well,
Aquaman could like have a drug ring.
all right. So we got the commerce down actually. So bottom line, you see the pros and cons on it.
Yeah.
All right, actually. So
Well, I think there's a lot more benefits to teleportation.
well, you take the middleman. We get all the trucks are
Who's it
over
gonna
there.
hurt? Who's it gonna hurt? That's gonna hurt.
The truckers,
It's
the
gonna hurt the
delivery
truck.
person.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt the logistics companies. It's gonna hurt the airplane industry.
That's right.
It's gonna hurt every kind of transportation industry, which generally has been like that's how you make your money is through transporting goods. So if you were able to develop teleportation, it would turn everything on its head.
That's right. So who will benefit?
Well, the companies that have teleportation.
How would that work anyway? Actually, what would be the how they'll find a way to improve themselves either technologically wise or service wise. So they either make it quicker or maybe more teleports on it or some shit like that, some stuff like that. I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're the one who develops it and you get a patent,
Right.
that's good for 20 years, I think. Or how long is a patent good for? 50 years?
Can't recall
100
actually.
years?
I don't know.
40 years?
Right.
I don't know how long it is, but I mean, you'll be good. You make all your money and you sell your business, and then you just have the name there. And so, like, let's say it's called Teleporto.
Teleporto.
Right, so Teleporto.
Made in Colombia. Teleporto.
It probably would be something like that. Because that would be, like, can you imagine the drug industry would get totally screwed? Like, you have everyone making money in the drug industry just on logistics.
Right.
It's not the farmers. The farmers aren't making money. It's all the logistics.
You're cutting a lot of middlemen out there, by the way. It's just one transfer system, a technological wise, an IT guy or whatever. And then you just have everything delivered through teleport. What would be
Imagine if you could make like MDMA, ecstasy.
Right.
If you could make that at one facility and teleport it directly to the people who want it, you could get rid of fentanyl and all the other people that are cutting in drugs.
Right.
To, you know what I mean? That are putting drugs in there to try and to make the yield bigger.
Right.
So I think that it would put people in a more honest place. It would, because you wouldn't have any middlemen. They wouldn't be screwing up the prices. Unfortunately, there'd be a lot of
how many
jobs.
businesses were made successful because you cut the middleman out?
Yeah, definitely. But
It's
there's a lot of people that suffer because of it. Because
there
they're
is
smart.
actually. So what would be the con on this aspect of it actually? The technology.
Loss of jobs. It would be loss of jobs. Maybe.
All right. So we're talking about technology. Obviously, we have some glitches, some problems or whatnot. Or maybe the teleport. Let's say you ordered 20 packages, but only 15 packages were delivered.
Yeah, where the rest of them go?
Where the sucker evaporated?
Maybe San Pedro. It went to San Pedro and
San Pedro, right? Not Bakersfield, but San Pedro.
One of the two.
Okay,
I don't know which one, but it could. I guess it could happen that a transport could be corrupted.
Okay.
That's a problem. I really don't know what I mean. There might be a way to stop that from happening.
Right.
I just don't know. I don't know because that stuff's not developed yet. I mean, like we don't really know until we get to that position what all the problems were. Like we can speculate, but I would imagine that there could be where it would come and it would be corrupted. So like let's say you receive cocaine, but it also has tuna in it.
Right.
Maybe they were transporting tuna in one thing and cocaine in another, and now it's tuna cane.
Dude. Kind of like The Fly, right, in the movie.
Exactly. So
both
maybe they get merged. That might be a problem. So you probably need to like.
You never know. You try, dude. Maybe the best thing ever.
You got to wipe the cache.
Right.
You got to clean the cache, clear out the data, and then you're good.
Okay.
So it looks like we got teleportation solved.
All right. Let's look at That's kind of economically well.
Who's,
It's like
who's working? Do you know who's working on that now? Do you know? Do you happen to know? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but do you know?
it's gonna happen eventually. There's probably the technology still there. We just don't know it, but it's gonna happen. We're just getting there. Actually, I mean, right now, you might be 80 years old, and you might have your grandkids getting teleported right here, and you'll be maybe bitching, hey, this kid just appeared out of nowhere, like ghosts or whatever. What's going on?
What happens with childbirth?
Well, what, we teleport the kid somewhere else? Or
No, you get rid of the pain of childbirth. There's a baby inside of a woman, and they're like, yes,
you
yes.
know, oh, dude, the pain of the delivery.
Oh, yes, they just take the baby out and they put it over in San Pedro.
That's right. You try to, so you want
Or wherever you are.
So you're the woman. You're like, you want to feel the childbirth? Like.
I only want to feel. Oldimar. I only want to feel 20% because I want to know that I went through it.
So the freaking baby comes out of here.
I don't want to feel like a poser.
Right there, like out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then they just teleport.
But that's gonna be economically. In the beginning, I was like, oh, you want to pay $40,000 for that one for that service? You don't have the pay
upsell.
Yeah, dude, of course.
So we start teleportation devices in hospitals.
And deliver the babies outside
I think we just figured out where the money is right now, buddy.
No.
The logistics companies and hospitals. Oh, military.
We're gonna go there. Let's stick to the medical one. Actually, there's plenty of medical stuff.
Okay.
Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
The cancer removing it out of the body. You don't have no limbs, but all of a sudden you can grow an extra limbs.
I want to grow Wolverine claws.
Let's say I have a small pee-pee. I want to get a bigger dick. So I'm like, oh, I want, and then you teleport yourself.
Hang on. Wait a second.
Well, I'm trying to say the medical aspect. Domestically,
are you saying you're just going to get a giant dick teleported in front of you?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, but it's not going to be attached to you.
Well, that's the whole point, actually.
So you're like, okay,
okay, hear me out. That's the whole point, actually, dude. It's gonna be attached to you. Let's say you don't have no limbs.
No.
You don't have a leg.
It doesn't. No, dude. It takes it out of you, or it moves it from one place to another. It doesn't attach things.
It needs to attach things.
No.
How does that? Oh, no. Hear me out. How does that work anyway?
It moves one thing from one location to another. It doesn't attach something to another location.
So you mean to tell me? All right.
So
you mean to tell me you cannot gather a little bit and just expand it and put a little bit more?
No, you're talking about importation.
Okay.
Or transmutation or something, or whatever you call it.
Can you implement that on that system?
No.
Yes or no? How
That's
can you not?
totally different because you're talking about putting cells. Okay, so let's say
hold on. Let's get back to it actually. So you evaporate all molecules and stuff like that and all that junk. Don't you think you can add a little bit more in there? And just a little bit of molecules? You're
going to have bonding happening between a foreign object.
Okay.
A foreign object that is not you and you.
All right, let's go back to the fly. Let's go back to the fly theory, right?
All right.
So you have the fly went on the machine with Jeff Goldblum, and then he turned to the fly guy, right?
Yeah.
So,
but that's a movie.
Okay.
But that's a movie.
Star Trek is not a movie. What the fuck?
But Star Trek wasn't about putting a body part.
Okay, hear me out, bro. Yeah. So based on the flight, all right. So you have an arm. You have a person with no leg, right?
Yeah.
And then you attach a leg on it over here, and you both transport it to the same path or whatever, and you unify those limbs to it or whatever.
You can't just do that though, because a person. Hear me out. No, you can't, because you know about transplants. If you have a transplant, it can be rejected.
Episode of Star Trek that there was something out onto the fucking.
I don't remember, but I'm just telling you
I'm pretty sure there was, because we're talking about molecules.
Fine, but that's Star Trek. Like, that's the concept of teleportation, but we're talking about actually adding a part onto a person.
Right.
There's a process where they have to get a person to accept something. So that it's not just a simple, okay, I'm going to take your ear and put it on my head.
Right.
You can put your ear on my head, and my head might reject it and say, no, that's a foreign, all my antibodies are going to be fighting you.
Okay.
And it's going to be an infection. It's going to be seen as a foreign invader. So it's not going to accept it.
How about the cancer stuff? Taking the cancer out.
Taking it out is fine.
All right, so cancer
you're gonna
stick,
put it in-
you're
you're gonna put in healthy
back,
cells?
put it back in it or whatever.
No.
It's not.
No, it's not. Everything
Isn't
is
the
very,
protons and molecules and that shit supposed to bond later on if you fuse it or some way like that machine or some shit?
Do we want to get into this?
I'm just
How
pointing
much
that out.
do you know about bonding?
No, I don't. I'm just pointing that, dude. This is all fictional stuff that we're talking about, dude. We're talking about the possibilities that you can do with this freaking thing.
I'm not talking about adding. You're talking about adding. I'm saying it's about subtracting
All
or
right.
moving.
You're okay. Adding you can't, but
Yes.
subtracting you can.
And transferring.
So you saw this episode of Star Trek where I don't want no God on me. Can you stick it up or whatever they do? Some shit like that, right?
Well, yeah, but they never said it was never a thing. It was never a thing where they could put Spock's ears on William Shatner's head.
Right.
You know, they didn't do that. You can't just switch it. You could take off Spock's ears maybe, but you can't.
I think we need to go outside the Star Trek now. Besides that, you got the fly. There's so many freaking scenarios, but we're talking about almost the same shit though. Same stuff, right? Evaporating molecules to transfer to somewhere else.
Yeah.
To something else. Yes and no.
It's not evaporating, but whatever it is. Yeah.
What is it transferring? It's transferring, right?
It's transferring. I
Okay.
don't know.
How do you define it or say how it works?
Okay.
How do you think it works?
I think it works as like a snapshot.
Right.
Okay. So it takes a snapshot of all of your qualities
Right.
in a specific area. So let's say they zero in on from here to my tear my pants, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're like, okay, stay still. Maybe it's like an old Civil War photograph and you have to stay still. And they're like, okay, and they scan it and they take on whatever's going on at that moment and freeze frame, they send it to somewhere else.
Right.
Okay? Now, it's not the same thing as I have a leg already and now I want Oldimar's leg. So now Oldimar's leg is going to be in my leg. That's not the same thing. That's a different thing.
This can work economically wise, but it cannot work medically wise. Is that what
I don't think so. I don't think so. Not with moving parts.
I think it can actually.
No, it can't because you have everything connected. I have like veins and arteries and muscles and there's all sorts of things going on here. You can't just take yours and put them in mine because it's not in the same place.
The thing is, you say you can subtract, but I'm saying I cannot add. That's what you're saying.
Yes. Not at this point. We can't even subtract at this point.
Right.
But I think the first thing will always be subtraction.
So let's say for now this technology.
And it's
goes
easier,
through.
right? It's easier to destroy than to build.
All right. This technology goes through. Maybe we have it right now. I don't know. We teleport stuff to one item to one.
Yeah.
Maybe we do.
It's possible. I believe that it probably is happening in some way.
Right.
I'm sure that there's something going on. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things you can do. Let's say it's a super mainstream like an iPhone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so many things you can do with it, such as like, all right, so my husband just freaking left. Can you come over here and you teleport over here? My husband's coming over here. You teleport back. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So you're like you want to get away with cheating?
Yeah, you get away with cheating and shit
Okay.
like that. So many shit you can do. So many stuff you can do with it. You know what I mean?
Fine, but you're not going to take half of them.
Right.
You want to take the whole person and send them somewhere else. You don't want to be like, you don't want to say like, you know what, let's take
How many
you.
marriages can you save with that technology?
Probably. Yeah. So tell me, Oldimar, what else is happening in the news? Do you?
I don't have anything else, man.
No.
No.
Okay.